Green, green, green.
31 car is fast, man.
But you're getting a shove inside lane, 3 wide.
And you're really doing a good job, man.
Inside, no help.
Oh, you got a lot of help.
100% my fault. I mean, I ran into the back of him, but...
Thanks, Kyle. Jack Roush's has on the track.
4 laps to go in Talladega. We're under caution. Pit road is open, and so far, no takers. Jamie McMurray still has 312 miles to race when this one's over. He's driving for Dale Jr. in the nationwide race. Now a few takers toward the tail end of the line, including Jimmy Johnson, come to pit lane.
Yeah, he's
got Allmendinger.
He's got to fix that quarter panel. I think there's a more rub there than he wants to have to deal with.
Saw Casey Kane. He got some damage in that wreck as well in that 9 car.
Matt?
Mike, Jimmy was complaining about some smoke inside the cockpit because of the tire rub, so they're going to take that left rear off, pound out that quarter panel, try to repair as a cosmetic damage as much as possible before we get ready. The right side looks good. That gives a thumb up to Chad Canals. A little more work, and 48 will be back out on the track. As far as the 1 car on fuel, they've got about 4 gallons is what they're saying to their driver.
Should be plenty. Casey Kane also stopped under this caution. Now 11 drivers are doing double duty, including McMurray. They'll run the second half of the doubleheader because of yesterday's rainout. And a very thoughtful story on a great website, NASCARinsiders.com, said don't forget, not just drivers, but a lot of these pit crews will pit both races, and quite a number of the spotters will also work the doubleheader today. So going to be a long day for a lot of them.
And think about the fans that got here early this morning. I mean, they're gonna be sitting in these seats all day long.
I don't think I've seen them sit down yet.
We're going to be using these seats.
4 laps to go.
Yeah, this will be our first attempt at a green-white checkered because it's now sitting on 2 laps to go in the scheduled length, but we have not received the 1 to go. So this will be the first attempt.
Now, it looks like McMurray is down on the apron there, Larry, just to be safe, because a lot of times when you're low on fuel, you come to take the green flag and you start the engine a little bit while you're up on the banking. So he's just keeping the fuel supply to the engine nice and steady.
Yeah, because most of our guys up there like McMurray, Stewart, Biffle, Earnhardt, Montoya, Reagan, Harvick, Rudeman, those guys have not been to pit road since they made those green flag stops way back there.
Larry, why do crew chiefs never have any hair? I do not understand that.
It might have something to do with the drivers we work with.
Getting ready for overdrive and the first green-white checker here at Talladega. If you like Talladega, you'll love Richmond next Saturday night.
We are ready to rumble in Richmond.
In the nighttime, that's the right time. This is going to be fun.
That's what you call short track racing.
Under the lights Saturday night.
Oh, that's
short track style.
Richmond is probably, to short track racing what Talladega is to super speedway racing.
Yes.
I mean, the action, running all over each other, it'll be wild.
And ding, 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 that will be round 3 of our DirecTV head-to-head competition on a short track.
My bracket is so busted. All right. Who do you like? Now, a lot's going to depend on where McMurray lines up. It looks like he has taken the inside. And if he does, that puts Tony Stewart right in front of who?
Mike, I just think it's ironic that McMurray ends up at the front of the field in these restrictor plate races when it counts.
But you look at the lineup, if he'd taken the outside, he'd have Junior behind him. But by taking the inside, it leaves 2 of the sport's favorite drafting partners, Tony Stewart and Dale Jr., nose to tail.
It's a catch-22 here, Mike. You don't want to give up the bottom. You have to protect the bottom. That yellow line, Darrell told Brandon this before the ARCA race, that double yellow line is your best friend, but you'd love to be in the high side to get the thing wound up.
Yeah, for the momentum, but I think McMurray likes Biffle better than he would like to have Tony Stewart behind him because he knows Biffle will stay with him.
Now, these guys, they need to get this race going. They've got enough fuel to get to the end, but under caution, you see them down on the flat. The fuel pickup is in the right rear corner, so at slow speed, the fuel runs away from the pickup. These guys need to get this thing going back again, green flag racing.
On the inside, McMurray, Biffle, Montoya, and Harvick. On the outside, Stewart, Jr., Reagan, Rudeman. Who's going to win it? Green-white checker. Here we go.
Green flag in the air. They get a little bit of an advantage. That inside does not much. You know, the other thing he may have considered, Larry, look who's the third car in line. His teammate.
And it is the inside line that goes.
And they just slid up in front of Tony Stewart in the 14 and Junior in the 88. That's what they needed to do. Protect the bottom and then slide up through 1 and 2.
I'm almost certain McMurray knew that Biffle would go wherever he went. He wasn't so sure about Junior or Tony Stewart.
Drag race. Down the back straightaway.
Now it's cat and mouse. Who's going to go? Who's going to go where?
If the leader takes the white flag under green, the next flag will end the race. Oh, around goes Newman. Newman up into Logano. 5 cars into the wall. 7. Caution.
Caution is out. The race is not complete. Not complete.
Had to get to the white flag to be complete.
What did we say 30 laps ago? You said, Darrell, not sure if you want to be around Ryan Newman. His luck here is not very good.
And no disrespect to him as a driver.
Not at all.
He is just snake bit on these restrictor plate tracks. That's his second car of the weekend.
Keselowski, last year's winner in the 12. Elliott Sadler in the 19, who's come across on his roof here a few times. Joey Logano, last year's Rookie of the Year. And here is Marcus Ambrose climbing out.
And look at Bobby Labonte's car.
That's a shame.
It's Slade.
See if we can figure out what started this. Labonte up high, 4 wide.
4 wide is usually not a very good thing.
The 20 car of Logano gets into the back of Ryan Newman, and the 39 started this whole mess.
I almost wonder if the 39 of Newman didn't say, uh-oh, we're 4 wide, and maybe even eased out the throttle a little bit.
Maybe this aerial view will show it, Darrell.
Let's see what we got here. We got a wad of cars going off in the corner. They're going to get 4 wide. You're going to see this, and here's the 39 right out here.
4 wide. You see there's plenty of room
right there. Plenty of room. I think that Logano just got in. I think Logano thought he could give him a push, clear that pack of cars, and go to the front. And he got him in the wrong place. We saw Carl Edwards do this to Greg Biffle here a couple of years ago.
You see Vickers in the 83 involved, a car that led a bunch of laps, and Casey Kane in the 9 just had recovered from the repairs from the last wreck. Tell you what, that's a hard lick on some of those cars.
So many times, you know, we kind of slow things down so we can see what the fans at home and everybody can see what's going on. When it's real time, it's real violent.
Riding with Jimmy Johnson.
Front of you, spin in 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 front of you. Stay to the bottom, stay to the bottom.
That man was lucky.
Clear. All right, it's reported that all drivers are out of their cars and are okay. Let's get down to Greg Biffle's pit. Krista.
Little bit of panic down here in the 16. You see Greg Irwin up on the pit box shaking his head. That's because they are very close on fuel. If NASCAR chooses, while they clean up the debris, to run these laps under caution, Biffle could run out. They actually have the fuel cans ready in the 16 just in case they have to come in, which would be detrimental and devastating if they have to come in for fuel.
Okay, you know, I always say I can't live in the what if. I gotta deal with what I know, and the what if here would be, what if we have more than one green white checkered? That's what's happened to the 16 team.
So the second place car is low on fuel. What about the leader, Matt?
And catching up with Kevin Bonomania. Now the computer says you should be good, but going back over your numbers, are you still good?
Well, Gary Putnam does a great job with the pencil and paper, and Randall does a good job with the computer. So. We're going to be close, that's for sure. You know, it just depends on how long this caution lasts. Hopefully they red flag it. Jamie said there's several cars back there and a lot of debris. So, you know, this reminds me a lot like the fall Talladega race, and we had enough gas to make it there. And, you know, we got in a wreck on the last lap. So it's been a fairly eventful Talladega race. So, you know, we'll just wait and see what happens here. I'm just proud of the whole team. We've run up front and got our sponsor Johnny Morris here, and just hopefully it'll finish out the correct way.
Trying to make it back-to-back Talladega wins for Jamie McMurray and get this one car a Talladega win as well.